Storybooks are there to teach your kids to be good. Jonathan Livingston Seagull or Little Riding Hood. But comic books are cooler. Zombie horror, traveling blue boxes. Spike and Buffy Angel if we absolutely must.
Ew.
The name's Samantha maybe. I'm a Loki-loving Whedon lady.
Don't you call me Sammy or I'll punch you in the face.
Really?
Comic Sans.
Hello and welcome to a comic book review with Samantha Maybe. That's me. Today I'm going to be talking about Volume 1, or at least Issue 1, of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8, The Long Way Home. Now, I will be the first to tell you that I am in no way a comic book aficionado. I love me some Buffy, but I haven't been reading comic books for more than a couple of months. So, in my reviewing of this comic, I'm going to really stress the importance of plot elements and how I think the storybook story pertains to the series at large, and not necessarily how this comic compares to other comic book series. But you know, I'm a nerd. I have a Buffy tattoo. It happens. We begin issue number 1 with Buffy narrating and providing some exposition about the events that have transpired since Season 7. You know, when this happened? Yeah. Buffy is now in charge of an army of approximately 500 Slayers that she has created via the magic in her scythe. They've counted about 3 times that many, but they didn't all want to join Buffy, and we see her and some of the underlings out beating up baddies. Buffy makes a reference to her quote-unquote watcher, and the next page shows a control room with Xander in the command position, wearing his now trademark eye patch. He hasn't appeared to have lost any of his charm or wit since last we saw him. Buffy's team is out killing some sort of large green demon. Slimer?
And after they defeat it, they find a man, one of the demon's previous victims, with a peculiar mark carved into his chest.
Now, anyone paying more than casual attention to the cover of the book will recognize this exact same symbol from the bottom. Here. There it is.
We cut to a man named General Vol and some of his men flying over what's left of Sunnydale, discussing the apparent threat the Slayers now pose to the world. They're afraid of the Slayers, and they're afraid of Buffy. They've also been excavating the crater, and one of the workers gets grabbed by a mysterious, shadowy hand.
Spike?
So then, we see Dawn, who's a giant.
Do I even have to say anything? I mean, I've never been a huge Dawn fan, but she was always a pain in the butt before. Just, is this necessary?
Turns out Dawn's under a spell from a dude called Kenny, who's apparently a thrice-wise, and I lost interest. Moving on. After Buffy has a moment, we cut back to a government research facility where they're discussing the thing they found in the Sunnydale crater. They mention that she,
not Spike,
wants a lot of cheese, and we quickly discover that somehow Amy survived.
So overall, my feelings on this issue were pretty good. Nothing really that major happened. We now know that the Slayers have organized themselves and that the government's not too thrilled with them. And that's sure to become a major plot point throughout the series, I'm sure. Which, you know, I'm not too thrilled about, but hey, I think it's kind of unavoidable when you suddenly create a huge army of crazy, super-powered females. So somehow Amy's still alive. Don't quite know how that one works, but of course I'm just hoping that Spike's still alive too. But we'll see what happens with Amy and what the government's planning on doing with her and her boyfriend. It's gonna be gross. Yeah, issue 1 was good. It was a solid issue, I think. No major complaints from me. So yeah, on to issue number 2.